Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Matt,
And I am the co-host, Melissa.
and we are doing another episode today. This is just a generic podcast episode, no reactions, no reviews today. Episode number 11, if you're following along with just our generic podcast episodes. How are you feeling today, Melissa?
Pretty good. All things considered, it's storming outside right now, which is my favorite kind of weather. So I feel very cozy right now, very prepared to record a new podcast episode. I'm so excited to be back. I've been hustling the last few weeks. I was in Florida twice, I believe. Our last episode was all about Galaxy's Edge. And then after Galaxy's Edge, 2 weeks later, I then went back to take a relaxing, quiet, don't have to be anywhere vacation with another half of the family. So it's been good. I feel good. I feel great. I'm getting pumped for Obi-Wan. How about you?
I feel great. Same, busy as you. Been doing a lot of travel. I'll be traveling a lot in the next couple months here. Actually, the day I start traveling is the day Obi-Wan comes out. So like a month and a couple days from now. So hopefully I'll be able to fit that in. I think maybe if it comes out at midnight, I'll be able to watch it the night before I travel, thankfully. But it's crazy to think we're a month out from that show. So I'm hyped. I'm expecting another trailer or some kind of more promo assets soon. We got another promo banner. What,
We
yesterday,
did.
the day before,
So
something like that?
yeah, let's just jump straight into the Star Wars news. I can actually pull up that banner real quick if you want to talk about it.
Sure.
So let's get that
You guys probably
pulled up
noticed we have
here.
our nice fancy new podcast recording software that we're using. So we're moving on up in the world.
We are. We also look a little more HD this time around.
Yeah, look at us.
We look. Our picture is so crisp.
See, that's what happens when you guys watch the show. You watch the show, you enjoy the show, we start putting more effort into the show. And it's just going to continue getting better and better and better as we go along. So keep liking, sharing, subscribing. And in fact, while Melissa's pulling this up, this is a great opportunity to, before we get into the episode, talk about our social channels. So make sure you guys go follow us at @star_wars_pod, as you can see on the nice fancy ticker down there on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you go over to YouTube, make sure you click the notification bell so that you are aware of when our new episodes come out. And then if you're listening, you can listen on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere else you get your podcast. So thanks for the support. Hopefully we're going to keep growing this thing. And yeah, we're excited. I cannot wait to break down Obi-Wan, and we want to make sure we have some good viewers for that. And in fact, when that does come out, we'll be able to use this fancy, nice software to engage with you guys as we're doing that with comments and live reactions, that sort of thing. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, go follow us. We would love to have you.
It's true. And with that being said, let's delve straight into Star Wars news. So I have that beautiful, crisp, fancy banner pulled up. So let's just take a look at this, Matt. Look at
Boom.
this.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Revenge of the Sith 2005 promotional posters. How about you?
Yeah, very similar vibes. It looks like, I have to see the other one. Maybe we can pull that one up next. But the dueling right there is very similar to the one for Revenge of the Sith, where it's like more yellowish of a color, and it's Obi-Wan and Anakin dueling on Mustafar.
Yeah, I can
Very
pull that
similar
up.
vibes here. This is a very cool, well done poster. In fact, I thought it was fan made when I first saw it, because usually for Star Wars promotional content, it's good, but like you'll always see fans that make content afterwards, like fake promotional posters or whatever. And I always like those more for whatever reason. I always think like they're just so creative and well done. And this kind of gives me those vibes. Like I think it's just a really excellent, exciting promotional banner. And I think it's just really fueling the hype machine right now.
It really is. It really is. I love how the middle image of Obi-Wan versus Vader is echoing Revenge of the Sith. That poster, which I can actually pull up right now, but this is gorgeous. And I think this was randomly spotted in like a Target or Walmart, wasn't it? And somebody posted
Yeah.
it.
It was like over a like a DVD case thing or something. I don't know who still buys DVDs, but I think that was the area where it was.
It's just all copies of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
With that being said, let me pull up that poster really quick. So let me find that. Share screen. Yeah, dude, I'm so hyped. Oh wait, I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah,
That's
very similar vibes.
gorgeous. Yeah, I always loved this shot. So I really like those direct callbacks to Revenge of the Sith that they're doing. So that is like what a way to kick off the Star Wars news. As I think it's fair to say that they've started to bring their marketing into the light now for this show.
Yeah. I mean, it's very Revenge of the Sith-esque is that's the kind of vibe I got from that original. I mean, the Obi-Wan one that you pulled up, which I think is awesome. I thought that was like very. I remember when that came out. Actually, they had one that was like, "Who's your daddy?" and it had Vader on it, and he's like, "Ugh," like has his hand out. I actually had that poster in my room when I was a kid, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. I remember being a little tyke and thinking like, "Oh, this is such a modern Star Wars thing." Like it felt very, very different, because like the original trilogy is a very original trilogy, old school 80s feel to it. And I think they kind of tried to channel that with the sequels and whatnot. But this one feels a little different, which I like. I think it's very cool. It's not like typical to what they've done with The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. So I'm a fan.
No, I love it. It reminds me of the prequel trilogy promotional banners, and anything prequel trilogy, I'm 110% there. So bring on that vibe. I'm all for it. Another bit of Obi-Wan news is we got the official composer for Obi-Wan released today. And her name is Natalie Holt. And she, for those who don't know, she was the composer for the Loki TV series. Matt, have you heard that soundtrack? Because it is a banger.
No, actually, again, I think we've talked about this before. I'm not a huge Marvel guy. So I haven't watched Loki, but is it good? I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming she's great. If they hired her for this, they're not gonna. It seems to me they're gonna do their best to make sure it's as well done as possible. So I'm assuming she's great, but I haven't heard the Loki one, so I can't really speak to that.
The Loki theme is a lot of fun. It's very unique. I think she uses like synthesizers in the theme. It's a banger, dude. Like I watched all of Loki last summer with the girls, and the girls really really liked it. I was kind of indifferent towards it because I'm with you. It's like with Marvel, I'm just a little burnt out of that side of fandom things. So I'm very particular with what I enjoy in Marvel if anything, but the music for that show is very very good. Like I highly recommend the soundtrack. It's really hard not to get the theme song to Loki stuck in your head, but I think she's a great choice. I think she brings a similar kind of vibe that Ludwig did to the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, so I think that she'll be a great fit for that. I'm pretty confident, especially because I really like the Loki theme.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. I think, John Williams having been plugged in there too to write the Obi-Wan theme for it and collaborating with her. I think that's also like an important element to have the original, Star Wars OG composer be involved with that. But I'll have to check her out. That just got announced, today or yesterday? Yeah. So
This
that's
just
fresh
got
news.
Yeah, this is actually kind of cool. So there's a part of this interview that made me laugh. I just loved it. Oh, it says, so this is on Vanity Fair if you guys want to read this entire article, but this part made me laugh is where the interviewer's like, how did you and Williams come together to work in tandem? And it says Obi-Wan is a legacy character that John hadn't written a theme for because he died quite early on in New Hope. It's the only legacy character that he hadn't done. So he spoke to Kathleen Kennedy and said, I just want to write Benny a theme. So who can deny him that? And he did. He wrote the Obi theme and it just embodies the spirit of the show entirely. So it does look like she collaborated with John Williams, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I love that he referred to Obi-Wan as Benny.
I know. It's amazing.
He doesn't have a theme though.
How does, by the way, tangent time. How did he get that name Ben? I never understood that. Like Obi-Wan, Ben, Obi-Wan. I don't know. I don't really get it.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that's the next bit of Star Wars news. So in Legends, before Disney like wiped Legends clean and they got control of Disney and the whole acquisition, there was a book, and I can't remember what book it was called, but in the book you find out that Satine gave Obi-Wan that nickname that she called him Ben. And then Obi-Wan kind of used that as the alias when he was on his exile on Tatooine. So Legends came through, or excuse me, Disney came through and they were like, oh, this is Legends. This isn't canon anymore when they wiped that off the slate in 2012. But today they just recanonized it because there was a book that released, and I'll actually share that right here. There was a book that was released that's called Brotherhood, and
Oh, right, the Obi-Wan Anakin one.
it's an Obi-Wan and Anakin novel. I don't know why it's not letting me pull it up. Oh, I have too many tabs open. That's why. It's an Obi-Wan and Anakin novel, and it's by Mike Chen. And in the novel, I haven't read anything of this. I don't know pretty much anything about the book, but in the novel, apparently they recanonized that Satine was the one to give Obi-Wan the nickname Ben,
Oh, wow.
which I think
That's great.
is
Yeah.
awesome. There's the book cover.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
this
have to read that. I just got a new credit for my audiobooks. I love audiobooks, so I'll have to do this one. There's a lot of Star Wars ones I want to do. This one and the Darth Bane ones, and then like the Palpatine one. So I have a lot to get through, but that's like on my to-do list, and so we'll have to do an episode on that
Oh,
later
for
on.
sure. No, but I love this because I always liked the idea of that being canon, and I was sad when I was like, "Oh, dang it, that book isn't canon anymore." But that actually makes so much sense. Like it's a pull at the heartstrings because of what happened with Satine, but it does kind of show how much he still loved her. And the fact that he carries with him, it just makes it more personal. Like Ben didn't, it wasn't a name that he pulled out of the hat, like Vader was for Anakin. It was just like it was personal to him. So I just think that's lovely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very very cool how they're integrating those elements into canon.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it. And then I think the last bit of news I saw, and I think this is a rumor regarding the Ahsoka show. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Why don't you go for it?
So Lars Mickelson is supposed to be revealed as Grand Admiral Thrawn at the Star Wars Celebration event, which, thank God, if that's true, he's awesome. So like
Yeah.
Lars Mickelson, amazing actor as it is with live action. The original voice of Thrawn. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the original voice of Thrawn. Sorry, I'm mixing up actors here. Original voice of Thrawn. So like that makes it so much better. I love the translation from animation to live action. So it's not confirmed, but there is some rumor there. So I'm hoping that's true. I'm hoping I'll be able to go to Star Wars Celebration and maybe see that for myself. But that would be amazing and huge news, I think. Because did they have a different casting initially for Thrawn, or am I making that up? Or is that for something else?
I actually don't know. For those who are curious, this is the supposed rumor. Which, by the way, look at this. Look at the image that they use of Lars. The bone structure, everything. Yeah. Like I'm pretty
now
sure.
Just imagine him blue, and we're good to go. Just put a blue filter on him. Someone Photoshop a blue Lars Mickelson, and we're good to go.
Yeah. So honestly, like I'm pretty sure that the animators even like modeled Thrawn after his jawline and his cheekbones. Like,
and that's what good animators do. You kind of model the character after whoever's voicing them, which I think is really smart. I'm just waiting though for when the Ahsoka trailer comes out. You see Thrawn. They're gonna have some teaser trailer. Maybe you see a glimpse of Thrawn for the first time, and then Star Wars Twitter is gonna blow up, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he doesn't look like he did in the cartoon." Oh, and they're like,
well, if he's not
eyes or something.
Dude, did you see? So this is on topic with what you're saying. So at Star Wars Celebration 2019, there was an official banner done of all areas of Star Wars, original, prequel, sequel, and they commissioned an artist to do interpretations of all these different characters from like Clone Wars and Rebels. And the artist drew Thrawn, but they drew Thrawn as Pierce Brosnan. So it was like, you have to look this up, dude. I swear I'm not making this up. But or at least I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him, but you need to look up like Thrawn Pierce Brosnan.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen that before. It's in like it's the comic or something, right?
No, it's like a banner.
What
Hang on.
No, it came up in something. Like, hold on, I'll pull it up. I think I have that. How do I pull up video things here? Whoops. Still getting used to this. Okay.
Dude, I have it pulled up right now.
Okay, pull it up.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's share this version of Thrawn.
Yeah, it's definitely
What?
not a trim.
What is happening?
Yeah, I don't think that would work. That would not be a good casting.
No, it would not.
You don't need James Bond as Thrawn.
I don't know. It makes me laugh so much. But I look, if Lars Mickelson plays Thrawn, 10 out of 10, perfect, 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 perfect to bring the same guy. And he's a skilled actor. And isn't his brother in Rogue One? Isn't that another who plays Jyn Erso's father? Isn't that his brother?
That's Pierce Brosnan's brother.
No, no. Lars
Oh, Lars
Mickelson.
Mickelson. Oh, maybe.
I
Yeah.
think it's his brother.
Mickelson brother. I'm typing that in right now. Yeah, it is. Mads Mikkelsen. Is that
Ah,
him? Yeah.
yeah.
He's creepy looking. They're creepy looking dudes. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So here's and then speaking of Lars as actually Thrawn, check out this thing I just pulled up. Now you can picture him as being blue. See, someone put Michael Fassbender in there too, which I guess that he actually could work, honestly. But like this, that's pretty cool.
I mean, as long as he doesn't have the facial hair, I'm cool with it.
And if you put some like prosthetics on him
Oh
and
yeah.
give her the beard,
Give him a like kind of a bigger forehead because chis have huge foreheads.
yeah,
No, dude, he's perfect.
look at him. What a succulent guy.
Ew.
Again, Star Wars fans being cool, mocking this stuff up for us. But yeah, that's great news. I think that would make a whole lot of sense if they ended up doing that.
Yeah, it'd be great. Okay, I think that's all for Star Wars news today, unless you had
No,
something
it's
that I'm
not.
unaware of.
I do have something that.
Ooh, did I miss something? Ooh, guys, I missed
Well,
something.
another rumor, which I don't know how substantiated this is, but this was like it came out like 10 days ago, something like that, maybe a week and a half. I don't know, same thing. But this one, I think I'm not as confident on this as some other people were, but Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, said that The Mandalorian season 3 releases this summer, which sounds a little too good to be true for me.
Yeah, I did hear this one. I did hear this one, and I saw the interview where he said that, and I'm just like, is it though? Because you guys just got done filming and you have to go through the editing process. So maybe he's talking about summer next year, which would suck so hard.
No way.
But
I think it would be December at the latest. I'm still thinking it'll be December. When I saw this, I was very, very skeptical. So I'm not sure, but this was definitely going around the rumor mills. Bespin Bulletin, shout out. They always have some good leads in terms of Star Wars news, but it could happen. That would obviously be awesome, but I mean, that'd be right after Obi-Wan, right? So I don't
I
know.
mean,
That seems a little ambitious for me.
yeah, and you got to think like Bad Batch season 2 is done. We don't know when that's coming out and where
They
that
could
is.
surprise drop it over the summer. I don't think that's likely either because they did. So a bunch of people posted like I almost fell for it. Like Bad Batch season 2 confirmed to drop in July, and I was like, oh no way. Then I'm like, oh wait, it's April 1st.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got to be careful. God, I hate April 1st. I'm like, okay, now's the day for everybody to be
Well,
annoying.
it's like what's the line of like prank and then just lying to somebody? You know what I mean? Like a prank is good. April Fool is like, all right, you fooled me in some fun way, but what's the line between that and then just straight out lying to someone and spreading false information?
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. But yeah, as far as the Mandalorian goes, I think there will be a panel at Celebration. I think they will talk about what to expect, what they're working on. We could get a teaser, but I highly doubt it's coming out this summer.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think last piece of news, which I think this just came out today. Actually, I think there was 2 more pieces of news that I had, both from Bespin Bulletin. So shout out to them. If you guys don't follow them, you should probably do that because this is a great place to get news. But Andor season 2 supposed to begin filming in November.
This dropped today.
Yep. Just dropped a couple hours ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So that would be exciting.
Wait, season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
I
'cause
think
they
the other season 1 is already finished filming. I'm pretty sure. I think this is going to drop. I think Andor's going to drop at the end of the summer, which is why I don't know that Bad Batch would necessarily come out over the summer.
Oh, man, so they might really be trying to find a place for Bad Batch, because if this is the next one, ooh, this is what happens when you have multiple Star Wars projects going at once.
No,
I didn't think we were gonna get Andor till next year.
no. I think it's August. Is that's the rumor right now? I
Oh,
think
that's fast.
August 2022. But I mean, if they're already gonna if this rumor is true about season 2 filming, it means it must be a really good season. They must have crushed it if it's already renewed for a second season. That's kind of crazy. Also, still no news on Book of Boba Fett season 2, so I don't think that will happen.
I don't either.
Yeah. But I mean, whatever. Either way, if if Andor season 2 is filming, that's a really good sign for us as fans. So
Yeah.
that's good. And then I think the last thing too, again, Bespin Bulletin. But I did read this that the acolyte, whatever, is supposed to be delayed until October. I don't
Of
know who
this
this
year?
is. Yeah, filming hasn't even started yet.
Oh, it's supposed to
This,
film in
yeah,
October of this
yeah,
year?
filming.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no way they're releasing that till 2023.
Who is this? I don't know who this is.
I don't know either.
Oh, Amanda Stenberg. She was cast in a lead role earlier this year. I'm still hoping that it's a Sith show. I feel like it has to be.
I don't know why they haven't done any stories on, like, Sith rising to power. Like, people are just as interested in the bad guys as they are the good guys. I mean, I would watch an entire show on how Palpatine became a Sith. I would.
Yeah, I would too. I'd watch one on Maul. I'd watch one on Darth Bane. I'd watch one on any of them. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I don't really know what to expect of this show, but I've kind of put it on the back burner for now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to focus on right now. It's Obi-Wan is what's in my direct line of sight. I just want to see. Let's see what Obi-Wan's like. I'm sure it's going to be great. I can't wait. I think in the next week or two we'll probably get another. I would imagine by May. Like they've got to have one. You know, at least a month or a month out before the show actually
Oh,
premieres. I
that
would
should be the
imagine we're probably
last.
getting one in the next week or two. You know.
Then let's follow up with the last rumor. There's a rumor that there's gonna be another trailer next week.
That makes sense.
Which, by the way, they're picking up the marketing. They're picking up the marketing, and for proof of that, goodness gracious, we've had a lot of Star Wars news today. Why does it always seem to come down on top of us?
Well, because we don't do episodes enough.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
Look at
Justin.
that.
Again on Bespin Bulletin. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is really sick.
Isn't that a sexy poster? Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at how crisp his lines are. Look at the edge of this photo of Obi-Wan. Look at the blurred background. Chef's kiss.
it's very good.
That is gorgeous. We have that, and then did you see the sexy photo of the lightsaber as well?
Yes, very cool. Love Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
Yeah, it's a very cool looking lightsaber. For those who don't know, this is what that looks like.
Yeah, it's awesome. Super cool.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shots.
Very good promo, I think. Very well done. So I'm stoked. I'm just like trying to contain my excitement because once it comes out, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Yeah. And on the topic of Obi-Wan coming out today, guys, we are going to talk briefly about 5 essential characters that are most likely to appear in the Kenobi show. So let's get the theories going. We have less than a month. No, a little bit over a month, maybe a few days over a month till the Obi-Wan Kenobi show premieres. And that leaves plenty of room for theories. And a lot of theories going around right now are who's going to make an appearance in the Obi-Wan show, other than the people that we've seen in the trailer. And Matt, do you want to kick us off with the most obvious one?
Well, most obvious to you or most obvious to me?
Just most obvious in general. Who do you think is? Come on.
I mean, Vader, obviously.
Come, Vader.
Okay,
You're not on the same wavelength as me. There we go. It took us a while, but he finally got there. Yeah, I think Liam Neeson did an interview 3 days ago, and I don't remember who it was with, but he essentially said something like, oh, I'm a snob when it comes to TV. I would do a movie with Qui-Gon, but I wouldn't do a TV show. I'm just gonna be transparent. That's BS. Like,
Yeah.
dude came back for the Clone Wars. He's been known to make cameos in TV series. He was just in the season 3 premiere of a TV show called Dairy Girls, like last week.
Yeah.
He's dodging the question. He's in it. Like, I'm sorry. I take that as confirmation is he's going to be in the show.
Yeah, these guys are all, I mean, for being actors, they're pretty bad at lying.
Did you see how he dodged that too? He's like, "Oh, I'd do it if it was a movie, but not TV." And you're like, all you had to say is they didn't call me. Like, at least put a
Like,
little more.
it's a bummer. I really wish I was. But unfortunately, they never got back to me, you know?
He could have pulled an Andrew Garfield on that.
Oh,
You
he
know,
totally did. Yeah.
he
I'm trying to
could
find it. I
have.
think it was on comicbook.com or something like that. I don't remember where it is. I would love to pull up the clip if I can. I'll keep looking for it.
Oh wait, I think I retweeted it on our Twitter profile.
Oh, well, that would be handy.
Sorry, I should have said something earlier. Scroll down. Yeah, I found it. It's from Culture Crave. It's a tweet from Culture Crave, and it says Liam Neeson says he is down to return to Star Wars as Qui-Gon Jinn if it's in a film. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV, just like the big screen. And then they did get that source from comicbook.com.
Can you play the clip?
I don't think there is a clip.
I mean, there is. I definitely.
Oh, you saw a clip?
I saw a clip.
Ooh, let's see if we can actually find. Hang on. Comic book Liam Neeson. Yeah, there's no clip here. I'm on comicbook.com and I don't see a clip here. I mean, they do have quotes though. He said, I can't believe it's been 24 years since we made Star Wars The Phantom Menace. I just cannot believe where the time has gone. It was a terrific experience shooting that film in London. He's lying.
Yeah, he's lying.
He's lying. I mean, they don't need his physical appearance. All they need is his voice.
Yeah, and I mean, he was in Clone Wars for that, right?
Yep. Absolutely, he was. I mean, and like I'm of the opinion at this point. I'm of the opinion that I don't think there's any way to make this show without Qui-Gon. Like, I really don't.
You really have to have him. It's he's such an integral part of Obi-Wan's like life and his evolution as a character. And so not having him in it would be a huge mistake. And so like he's definitely open to it, you know, like from what I understand. So I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
I mean, there's no reason not to. And if you think about it, like the thing that's going on through my head is like, if Obi-Wan's having conversations with Qui-Gon about Anakin, like the last thing that Qui-Gon asked Obi-Wan to do before he died is he was like, train Anakin. Like, this is the chosen one. You have to train him. So how the heck does Obi-Wan feel knowing that he not only failed Anakin, but he failed Qui-Gon, in his eyes at least?
Right. And like, that's such an interesting conversation for those two to have.
Yeah.
You know? And like, that's something that's unfinished that we would love to see, frankly. And I love Liam Neeson. I'm such a Liam Neeson stan. I love all his movies. I love his acting. Like, he's just the best.
He is. He is. And you know what else I really want to see, dude, is I want to know how Obi-Wan learned. Oh, did you find it?
Found it.
You did? Okay,
ahead.
let's pull that.
First.
All I want to know is like, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but I have questions like, how did Obi-Wan learn to preserve his life force after death? Like, how did he learn how to do that?
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that more in a sec, but let's play this clip.
Okay.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I think so. If it was a film, yes, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV, I must admit, but I just like the big screen. I can't believe it's 24 years since we made The Phantom Menace. I just cannot believe where the time has gone.
I know.
But it was a terrific experience shooting that film. Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So I think he's lying.
Dude, he's totally lying. He's lying. You can't make the show without Qui-Gon. You can't. I'm sorry. He's definitely lying. No, to follow up with what I was going to say is I have questions about how Obi-Wan learned how to preserve his life force, because if you remember in that season 6 arc of Clone Wars where Yoda goes on that spiritual journey and Qui-Gon's voice is teaching him how to preserve his life force after death. And then if you remember at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda says, "I have training for you, Obi-Wan, when you're like in your exile on Tatooine." And so like a major question I have is Qui-Gon the one to teach Obi-Wan that skill? And are we going to get some of that training in this show?
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, Qui-Gon was never able to make himself materialize as a Force
Yes.
Ghost, but he has his voice. So I think we'd at least
Yes.
get his voice, but I think maybe he would help Obi-Wan complete his training somehow. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. I mean, that would be a nice tie-in to Revenge of the Sith.
I mean, I feel like they have to address that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that
I think they will. I think he's totally bluffing right now, and I think we will see him.
Right. And then I think the
So-
other God, I had a train of thought. I had a train of thought and it totally just crashed.
Oh, well, that's okay.
It'll come back up later, and then I'll be angry
All right,
that I
other
didn't remember it.
characters that we think we're going to see. Let's move on.
Yoda.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
I think it's I don't think he'll be in the show in a large capacity.
No, it'll
but
be
I
like he
think-
was in the last or Rise of Skywalker or whatever. I think it'll be like that, like really subtle and small scene, but he'll be in it.
I think he'll be in it because I know you haven't seen all of Star Wars Rebels, but like in that show, what they did is like, so Ezra and Kanan are two leads of Star Wars Rebels, and what they did in that show is Ezra and Kanan would occasionally commune with Yoda through Force timing, and they would talk, and then Yoda would offer a bit of advice during the reign of the Empire, and he's like, you know, don't be brash or whatever lesson he was trying to teach Ezra or Kanan about being Jedi. But I could see similar conversations happening between Obi-Wan and Yoda, even if like, because I would be thinking that Obi-Wan would be looking to Yoda for like advice. You know, he's kind of depressed during this time, and he's probably thinking, what the heck is this even for?
Yeah.
So I have to imagine we'd get at least a couple conversations. Or are Yoda and Qui-Gon joint training Obi-Wan? Because like Yoda's learned that skill of how to preserve his life force after death. So would like Qui-Gon and Yoda force time Obi-Wan and like kind of mentor him through what it is like to preserve your life force after death? Although I have to imagine like also they'd have to use that sparingly because like Vader can sense who's doing what in the force.
Yeah, and you don't want to go too much. Like those are huge characters: Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Yoda. It's just a lot, but I think the possibilities there. I think it would make a lot of sense if Obi-Wan went to Dagobah. That'd be awesome if we got to see Obi-Wan. If we got to see Dagobah again, that'd be so sick. And that just makes sense for the, progression of the show and the characters. So we would all love to see it. And I'm actually surprised more people haven't theorized on that. Like you don't see a whole lot of news about like, oh, is Yoda going to be in the show?
Yeah.
But
Which is so
that
weird.
makes like the most sense out of anybody, I think. I mean, him and Qui-Gon are like the two top ones.
Yeah.
So,
I just had another train of thought. At the end of Return of the Jedi, Anakin is seen as a Force ghost. How the heck did he learn how to do that?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, he's a Sith. He learned a lot of stuff. Like he's constantly
Right, but the
figuring out
Sith
his
are
powers.
based on selfishness. It's more of a self-absorbed thing. It's like the whole thing with the Sith is they can't let go of the material. They have to be able to control, and that's Palpatine's whole fall right there. Is he can't see past the edge of his own nose. And obviously, like when Luke comes in and he helps Vader to come back to the light, that's a whole other storyline. But what I'm thinking about in my head is like, wait a minute, how did Vader learn how to do that?
Well, maybe he learned beforehand. Maybe it's something that he learned before he turned to the dark side.
Interestingly enough, when you said that, do you remember at the end of that Clone Wars arc where after Yoda goes on his spiritual journey and he's talking to, oh no, it's in the middle of the arc when Yoda's talking to Qui-Gon. Anakin walks in to like the Jedi Temple garden to talk to Yoda, and you can tell that Anakin can hear Qui-Gon. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Anakin stops for a minute because he hears Qui-Gon's voice and then it goes away, and then Anakin thinks it's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like Qui-Gon's still trying to communicate with him and turn him to the good side, right? And
Yeah.
maybe Obi-Wan has a similar journey with him where they're somehow force communicating. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but hopefully, I don't know that they'll explore it in the show, but they could. They definitely could.
I just feel like it could be like an emotional, spiritual journey thing that Obi-Wan has to get through, not only to realize that like hope is still alive and it will exist through Luke Skywalker, but like in his own life. And maybe that's part of his emotional journey to learn to preserve his life force after death. Like we
Yeah.
don't really know what that trial looks like for him.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So
yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that'll be an interesting thing that we'll have to like check in on over the course of the show. I don't have high hopes for them explaining that. It feels like there's other more important stuff to cover, but they could. I think there's definitely ways where they could explain that. In terms of other characters we might see in the show, I think the other one that isn't super, super likely, but it's definitely possible, Ahsoka. I mean, we've introduced her now in 2 different shows. People know who she is.
Darn Dave.
She's around. So it's possible we get a quick cameo for just a split second. I think that would be cool. I don't know that it would make a ton of sense, but it's definitely possible. What are your thoughts?
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's legit the only way I could see that happening, because I don't think she places value on this particular story, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Like, I think they need to keep this show hyper focused in on the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin and what was lost. And if they try to do more than that, I think they're going to lose their story. To follow up with that, like I was gonna say another character that could appear would be Padme, but she's almost like Ahsoka in the sense where she adds a little bit more value to the story, but the only way that I could see her in the show is if they did it through a flashback. Because
Yeah,
like
that's what I think that's what they'll do. I think Natalie Portman 100% is coming back, and we'll see her in flashbacks for sure.
I think the way that they would do that is they would use her character to kind of show maybe some unseen conversations between her and Obi-Wan and how much Obi-Wan like cared about her and Anakin. Because Obi-Wan knew and he still allowed it. Like he was like, I know this is going on. I know that this is not what the Jedi Order would approve of, but I'm going to let it happen because I know it makes Anakin happy. So I wonder if we would get some unseen conversations between Padme and Obi-Wan, because a lot of scenes were shot between the two of them in Revenge of the Sith, but they were just cut from the movie.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they'd go back and they'd like redo something like that, which I would love. I would absolutely love that. And then
Yeah.
I wonder if Obi-Wan would like maybe reflect on moments where he saw Padme and Anakin and him lamenting like, I should have reached out. I should have helped. I shouldn't have waited for Anakin to come to me. So I think that she would make more sense to the story than, say, Ahsoka. But the best way to utilize her would be through flashbacks or Vader visiting her grave, which would just kill me.
Yeah. Tugging on the heartstrings.
She's it. So I think she's very likely as well, but
yeah.
more so than Ahsoka, though. Just because Ahsoka's a little bit more in the Anakin realm of things.
Yeah. It's a good point. Who else do we think? Who else do you who's on top of your list?
Commander Cody.
Commander Cody's definitely up there. You and I broke this down already. I think people already know why we think that. Definitely hinting towards some kind of clone return from the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, which we broke down in our last episode. So go check that out to see our exact theories as to why. There's a couple shots in that trailer there that look a little suspicious in terms of a clone that might be there. We did a pretty deep dive on that for about 10-15 minutes. So go back and check out that other video, because I agree with you. I think that's a huge possibility.
I mean, not just that, but like he was Obi-Wan's right-hand guy in the Clone Wars. Like they worked very closely together. Commander Cody knows Obi-Wan. He knows his tactics. Who better to help in the hunt than Cody? And it's been largely, and now his story post Order 66 has never been confirmed. Like we do not know what's happened to him. But it's been hinted at that he joined the Empire. He never got his chip out and he just joined the Empire. So I think that could add a lot of emotional weight to the show if Cody was aiding in the hunt for Obi-Wan, especially because he knows him, and we could kind of get some clarity on that story. But again, they'd have to be careful with where they're putting their focus.
Or
But
he gets his chip out, and there's some evidence for that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer with a brief shot we have of the Grand Inquisitor inquisiting somebody who seems to have some scars on the back of his head. So that's also a possibility.
Yeah,
but we don't
true.
know. But I think it's more likely the latter. And if that's not Cody, by the way, that's in the trailer, I think it's high likelihood it's a different clone, maybe Rex. So who knows? But I do think there's a good possibility of seeing him because there's a lot of story to be told with that character too.
Yeah, and they could close the chapter with him as well. So I think that he's also super likely. Also, Tamora Morrison was spotted on set in clone armor, so just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Or he had the clone stormtrooper boots or whatever you want to call them. I shouldn't say clone armor. This is Empire era.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. And then obviously, I'm pretty sure Bail Organa was confirmed for the show, right?
He's definitely in it. I mean, him and Leia, they both. I think we're going to see a young Leia. We're seeing a young Luke. We're going to see a young Leia at some point. Obi-Wan and Bail are going to have to chat at some point, see how the exiles going, check in, So I think like that's 100% gotta happen.
Yeah.
It's such an integral part of the story because obviously he's looking after Luke's sister. So you would imagine they would talk. And I think he'll probably be a recurring character over several episodes and he'll have some kind of subplot.
Yeah, and if those rumors about Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine to save Leia are true, then he is going to play a really big part.
Yeah.
Because that's her stepfather. Like,
Yeah.
There's no way that they can get around that without including Bail. And maybe we'll see his wife too.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's a huge part in Clone Wars, so he's a great dude, great character. Would love to see that. And I think that's another really likely scenario.
Yeah. Bail's. Is there anybody else of the characters we've named so far that you think are most likely? I mean, I have a couple other theories to who I think could appear in the show, but I think it's significantly less likely.
No.
I mean, it's kind of hard because again, they have to be super careful with what they choose to include just based on where they want their story to stay focused on. If I'm being honest, I think the main conflict is going to stay between Obi-Wan, Vader, and then that new character, Reva.
Yeah.
So, and then the Inquisitors. So I think whoever they do include, they're going to have to be very careful as to not overwhelm the story with unnecessary characters. But they could do it in a way that's very balanced out without, taking too much attention off Obi-Wan, because this is an Obi-Wan show. I did see some tweets going around the other day, though, and people were like, I swear, if Obi-Wan's like not in his own show for like 2 episodes, I'm gonna lose it. They're making a reference back to Book of Boba Fett. I don't think we're gonna get that, but that would would piss me off.
Yeah, that would be annoying. I don't think we'll get that. I think it'll be a pretty cohesive story and really tightly written, which would be good. But I'm also going to hold off on more theories on who's going to be in it until we see the second trailer, because I think that's really going to be what gives us an idea of what details of the plot throughout the season will be. And then I'll have, I think, a better idea of like, all right, who can I go all in on as to who's going to be in the show.
Right. I mean, do you mind if I just kind of spitball?
Sure.
So the few other characters I think have a possibility to maybe be in the show are maybe some bounty hunters. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Empire recruits bounty hunters in the hunt for Obi-Wan. I mean, he's a pretty prominent guy that Vader wants dead, so they could recruit like Bosk or Cad Bane or any of those guys in this show. I mean, do I think it's 110% likely? Not necessarily, but I think that there is a chance. Boba Fett even. I mean, he worked for the Empire. He was a pretty loyal Imperial guy, so I wouldn't write him off either. The other one would be Satine. Yeah. Now, I think that's significantly... I'm pretty convinced that we will not actually see her, but I do think there could be a moment of like Obi-Wan reflecting. I feel like it could be like a really short, quiet moment of him reflecting on that, because she ultimately, now officially canon, she gave him the nickname Ben.
Yeah.
And so I could see a moment where he's just kind of like reflecting on that. And
yeah.
mourning it a little bit, but I don't think that we'll actually get an appearance because, again, I don't think it makes sense to the overall show, but a little nod would be nice.
Yeah. I think for me, the only one that might happen that I would really love to happen, and it would make the most sense for everybody, is going to be Boss Nass.
I hate you. I hate you. Look at this image. What is happening here? What?
I don't know. I love
you guys. I have to warn you now that we have a nicer way to bring our content to you. Matt is going to manipulate this,
Yes,
and use it to make stupid jokes.
Hey, this is not a joke. This is a real theory. If Boss Nass isn't in the show, I will boycott Disney forever.
Really? Who's a
this? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan just goes back to Naboo. There's
I think we summed it up nicely. I think we should revisit this after the next trailer, hopefully in the next week. And then we can kind of like put our chips in as to who we think is most likely, other than the obvious ones.
I 110% agree. Yeah, I think that's it on my end too. I think we've named the most obvious ones that are likely to come out, but again, you don't know with these shows. They could pull a character out of left field, and you could be like, "Oh my god, that character makes perfect sense for this show." But at the end of the day, they should be using characters that only add value to the story.
Yeah,
and if they don't don't throw cameos in. Just like, please keep it tight knit and characters that are closely tied to Obi-Wan or they have relevance to the story. Otherwise, the show will be a mess. And I don't want it to be a cameo show. So my expectations for Kenobi are high. I'm not going to lie, but I have a feeling they'll do it justice.
Yeah.
I don't have any other thoughts except that we missed one bit of Star Wars news in the beginning.
What was that?
Hayden Christensen watched all of Clone Wars and Rebels to get ready for Kenobi and Ahsoka.
I did see that. Very cute. Very nice. Good character prep. Good for him. That's awesome.
He did his homework. I'm so proud.
Well, that's his job. So
I know, but like he didn't have to do that. Like I can't imagine that. Like, okay, maybe he did have to do it for Ahsoka per se, but not necessarily Kenobi.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think great job, Hayden. That is definitely doing your homework, and I think it's going to add to the depth of the character in this show. I cannot wait to see this Vader, this iteration of Vader. It's going to be a Vader we haven't seen before, so I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any last thoughts?
None, except for you will be streaming Lego Star Wars here soon.
Yeah, I'm going to try to start streaming. I'm not like these Gen Z kids who know how to stream and stuff very well. I'm not good with it. But yeah, I want to start streaming that. I like the Lego Star Wars. I kind of grew up with them. Lego Star Wars, Lego Batman. So yeah, maybe I'll do that this weekend. So tune in for that. We'll probably live stream it on the YouTube or Twitch or something, and we'll put it up for you guys to check out. And then Melissa and I will chat through it or something. But that's what'll be coming up next. And then we'll hopefully do another show in the next couple of weeks here before Obi-Wan. And then we have the Obi-Wan breakdown coming up.
Yeah.
And then maybe Star Wars Celebration. So we'll keep you guys updated on all that. But in the meantime, as mentioned before, please go to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what your theories are. Who do you guys think is going to be in the show? Is there anyone we left out? Is there any obvious glaring characters that you guys think are going to be in the show? Or maybe some crazy theories that you have about someone who's going to show up that was in Clone Wars or in the original trilogy or even the sequels that might show up. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. And then click that notification bell. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Anchor, Breaker, all those, anywhere you get podcasts. Honestly, we're everywhere, but you can watch video on Spotify. If that's something you're interested in, we have video on Spotify as well as YouTube, which is probably what you're watching this on now. So yeah, in the meantime, we will see you guys on the next episode of another Star Wars podcast. And we're super excited for Obi-Wan. Hopefully we get the trailer in the next week or so, and we can break that down on the next episode. We will see you guys next time.
See you guys.